Okay. Innalhamdulillahi wassalatu wassalam ala Rasulullah MBI wal Mursaleen. Everybody, welcome to our webinar on package selection. We are getting just started. Unfortunately, again, as I mentioned earlier, we had to delay our presentation because of challenges we were having with the Nusuk website. Our plan today was to present the Nusuk website package selection, go through it. We will still try to attempt it. We are hoping, inshallah ta'ala, it will stabilize as we progress. If it does not, we still have a few slides that we can go through, and we can definitely answer the questions that you have listed in our questions blog, inshallah ta'ala. So just quickly go through, this is the process of how the package selection all the way into booking is going to happen, where we are in this stage right now. We are reviewing the packages, we are looking at the flight preferences, and we have set up the e-wallet. We need to top it up and get it ready, inshallah ta'ala. And then we are putting it into the shopping cart and the funds, etc., and then we are going to get into the booking. So, as we have mentioned earlier, the packages are presented in two portions, the land and the flight portion. And initial price listed is only for the land portion. And I think we've seen that as we are going through the packages. And both have to be purchased only through the Nusuk website. There is no other option. You cannot buy flight. We know people have asked the questions, can we buy the land package? And then we'll buy the flight option from ourselves. Nusuk is not allowing that. Minister of Hajj and Umrah is not allowing that. The entire package from land and flight has to be purchased through the Nusuk platform only. And as of now, there is no information released on land only or Al Mashayar only packages. Al Mashayar packages, which are only the camp and the Hajj visa, were offered last year. This year, initially, Nusuk had listed this on their website, but as of now, they have not released any information. In fact, they took away the Al Mashayar package option from the Nusuk website. At this point in time, they are only offering all-inclusive packages, which basically means the land, the Hajj visa, the flight, everything is included in it. So the land portion, as we just mentioned, it includes a transportation between airport and hotel, the hotel accommodation in Makkah, Medina with breakfast, dinner, and lunch is included in some cases. The transportation between Makkah and Medina, whether it is in the bus or train, that will be listed in the package. Transportation and the accommodation in Mina, Arafat, Muzdalifah camp. Now, to emphasize this one, the transportation is from the hotel to the Mina camp at the beginning of the Hajj, and then the transportation to Arafat, Muzdalifah, and back to the Mina camp. The only next transportation that the service provider arranges is at the end of the Hajj days. Uh, the transportation from Jamarat to the Kaaba on the 10th day of Dhul Hijjah is not arranged by service provider. And in our past experience that we have found, this is one of the big challenge that Hujjaj have during the Hajj days, is the transportation from the Jamarat to Makkah for performing the Tawaf al-Ifada, as well as and then coming back to Mina as required as per the Arkan. So what from Rawaf Mina, we have been in discussion in Rawaf Mina, and we as a guide team, we are looking at some solutions internally, how we can make the life a little bit easier for the Hujjaj who are going to be in our group. Again, unfortunately, this is not going to be arranged for everybody. It is only for the Hujjaj who are under our guidance. Inshallah, we are looking at some solutions, and we will release that to the group that picks us as the guides, inshallah ta'ala. So there are in the packages, there are some additional services that they are offering, such as the Qurbani. We have seen that, which is called the Adahi. That is offered in some packages. In case if it is not offered, we can offer that as a solution, and we can offer that as a solution to even the people who are not part of our Hajj group. Inshallah ta'ala, last year we had arranged for several hundreds of people. We can inshallah try to make that available also. One other thing that I noticed in the additional services is they are offering a wheelchair. Again, it's a wheelchair not as a service, wheelchair as a product. Basically, they will give you a wheelchair. If there is a need for the wheelchair, then you need to make an arrangement for somebody to be able to push you around. But they are making the wheelchair available as an additional service free of charge, actually. Then the flight portion, I think we all have, many of us have already gone through and seen it. The standard flight, which is basically a standard flight which the service provider has made it part of the overall package from certain gateways, not all the gateways. And I think we have seen that in some packages the gateways are just Washington, New York, and Toronto are some of the gateways we have seen. Some gateways we have seen are Los Angeles. So far, we have not seen packages with Chicago and Dallas area, but that doesn't mean that will not get added. As we are seeing, as we are mentioned many times, they're still in the process of loading packages. They're still in the process of loading flights. They're still in the process of making the custom flight arrangements work. So there is a lot of work still that Nusuk is doing. So do not be frustrated, do not get annoyed, do not this time you should really not be frustrated. Rather, you should look at this as a testing time for yourself, understanding how this works. So if there is this is just a review period. You're not booking a package. You're not, if you miss like the next 2 days, you're not able to get onto Nusuk, as we just noticed, do not worry about it. It is not the end of the day. The concern should be when the booking time starts. That's when we should be concerned about. So this is the time. Look at the packages. Look at the cost of the packages. See with the land portion and the flight portion, what is the highest total amount that you're coming up with, and make sure the e-wallet is prepared. We are getting still questions. Hey, when should we be loading the e-wallet? You should be loading the e-wallet as of now. You do not want to wait until the last minute. A few people have messaged us to remind us that the challenges that they are facing, even though they use the credit card before to top the wallet, when they tried adding more money with higher amount, they started running into issues. So please do not wait until the last day. We understand this puts a little bit of a risk on each one of us, because when you're putting all the money, if Allah does not will any of us to go for Hajj and we have to get a refund, they are going to charge 1.5%. So that will be a bit of a challenge, and then we don't know exactly when it'll be released. One other point on that, while I'm on that point, the cancellation policy is listed with each package. At the bottom of the description of each package, the cancellation policy is listed. It is a cancellation policy about the package. It is not a refund policy. Please understand the difference between the two. Cancellation meaning if you buy the package and if you have to cancel the package, what are the rules, is that's what they have released. The refund policy, which is basically when you will get the money back, if it is either in excess or you don't get the package. What is the process of getting it? That has still not been released. We are still waiting for it. So please understand the difference between the two. Cancellation policy, when you have purchased a package, is listed. The refund policy of either the excess amount or when you don't get a package, how you get it back, that has still not been listed. Again, to re-emphasize, both of these two portions have to be purchased, and it has to be purchased only through the Nusuk. Okay. So before we move forward, these are the timelines of the Hajj period. This is very important that you notice this one. The approximate time when the Hajj process, the Arkan for the Hajj, would start is about the 15th of June, when you would be there for in Makkah. You need to be here by 6th or 7th of Dhul Hijjah. You need to be in Makkah to perform the tawaf. So to perform the Umrah. As part of the Hajj, you need to perform the Umrah, and then around the 16th of June, which is the 8th of Dhul Hijjah, you will be transported to Mina camp. Uh, And then on the morning of the 9th of Dhul Hijjah, you would be going to Arafat, spending the entire day, and just before until sunset, you would be there. And then before the sunset, before performing Maghrib Salah, you will be moved to Muzdalifah to spend the night in Muzdalifah. And then the next morning, you're brought back to Mina. All this transportation arranged by the service provider. So when you're back in Mina on the 10th of Dhul Hijjah, first thing in the morning that you'll be doing before the noon time is to go to Jamarat. And after doing the Jamarat, you would be back to Makkah to perform the Tawaf al Ifada. The transportation between Mina and Tawaf, this is what we are referring to as the challenge that I referred earlier. This is one of the logistical challenge that many of the Hujjaj have during the Hajj days. We have experienced it. We have heard of the frustration, and because of that, we as the guides from our team, we are looking at seeing how we can make this a little bit easier for our Hajj group members, inshallah ta'ala. So after performing tawaf, you're back in Mina for the Jamarat for the next 2 days or 3 days. 2 days is required, third day is recommended. So once you perform this Jamarat, you will be back in Makkah on either on the 12th day itself or on the 13th Dhul Hijjah, which is around the 20th of June. You'd be in Makkah to perform, and then before leaving, you'd perform Tawaf al Ifada. Now, why are these dates important? These dates are very important because when you look at the calendar, when you look at the calendar for each package, if you are arriving in if your package is arriving, like for example on the 5th of June or 6th of June or 7th of June, it most probably is going to Medina first. So even though the package will list it quite a bit clearly, this is something that you can also look at it carefully. So the other question that has been asked is, when the package lists the date, what date is that one? That date is the date of the arrival in Jeddah. Okay. So if your package lists June 2nd as the June 2nd to the 22nd of June, that basically means you will be departing on the 1st of June. Please bear that in mind. Okay. So if the package is listing 5th of June yeah, to the 25th of June, it basically means you will be leaving, departing your gateway on the 4th of June, the day before. Generally, it takes overnight to arrive into Jeddah from your most of your gateways. So you need to understand this very carefully. The dates listed in the package are the date of the arrival in Jeddah. Okay, and the date of departure is the date of departure from Jeddah. And because of the time difference, time zones, you generally would arrive on the same day at your gateway. Okay, so this is something that you need to be a little bit careful about. Okay, okay. All right, we are back into this thing. Wasim, you want to go through your slides on the packages that you have put together, please?
Okay. Jazakallah khair, Farid bhai. Inshallah, so all our brothers and sisters, as we go through these days, right, like what Brother Farid was saying, we have to show a lot of patience, right? There'll be issues like this, like website not working, things like that. So that's why it's very important that as we prepare for this journey, we are preparing both from a spiritual perspective as well as logistical perspective, right? So when you talk about spiritual perspective preparation, you want to keep our eye on the goal. Like, why am I doing this, right? What am I trying to achieve here? Allah, this is one of the commands of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala that we are trying to fulfill. This is a very big responsibility, right? So we need to have our goal in front of us all the time. That why am I doing this? Sometimes it's easy to get so involved into the logistics and issues and website not working and get lose sight of our goal. So again, our goal is to try to visit the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if somebody fulfills this command, right, it comes the hadith more or less to the meaning that if anyone performs the Hajj for Allah's sake without talking immodestly or acting wickedly, he will return from free from sins, right, as if he was the day his mother gave him birth. So this is all about acceptance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? We might have the money, we might have our account and loaded account with everything ready to go. But again, at the end of the day, like Farid Bhai was saying earlier, this is acceptance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what we should do is we should make dua after every salah. After every salah, there is du'as are accepted. So inshallah we should praise our salawat, and especially in tahajjud, asking for acceptance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah, I want to visit your house, please accept me. And then we need to practice patience, like what Farid was saying, starting now. Like website is not working suddenly. This can very well happen when we are trying to book packages. Last year, this happened a lot, that while people were trying to buy, there were issues with the website. So again, inshallah, we do all our best, right? We don't ask for difficulty, right? We don't ask for difficulty, but we get psychologically ready that if something comes, we handle it, inshallah. So that's why we do everything that's in our control. Things that are not in our control, that's in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We apply for leave, we get funds loaded in the e-wallet, practice walking, give sadaqah, ask Allah for acceptance, do everything that's there in our hands, and inshallah Allah will accept us. So as we prepare for the logistics, there are few parameters and in package selection that you need to all be aware of. And again, we won't go into this detail of each one. Farid bhai, mashallah, had explained last time in very much detail, but we should know what are the different parameters, because these selections will change the value of the package, right? If you select luxury, you select premium, standard, you should understand what that means, because that will change how expensive the package is. If it's shifting, if it's non-shifting, the Mina camps, Al-Kabsh, Muassim, Camp 38, accommodations, each of these factors change the price. So when you're comparing packages, you want to look at each of these. And there might be some parameters or these filters that might not be as important to you. There might be some that are very important. For some, there might be super important that you be in Al-Kabsh camp, let's say, because you cannot walk too much, for example. So you want to be able to have all your parameters identified, right? And understand what each of these mean, so you can take an informed decision when comparing packages. Again, and this is very well documented on the Nusuk website as well, what each of these mean. So we do recommend looking at our previous videos. If you don't understand these well, you want to get into those videos, look at it, study those well, so you understand all the different terminology. Other thing that you want to do is be very practical and pragmatic, right? There are some factors that might be nice to have, versus there might be some deal breakers. So you want to think about this, that what is absolutely needed, what are things that I cannot live without, what are the nice to have things, right? For example, let's say I would prefer to have a double package. Let's say somebody is traveling with their wife, they would prefer to have a double package so they can be together. Now, hypothetically, if while trying to purchase a package, if that double package is not available, what are you going to do? So think about all these scenarios and be ready, try to be flexible as much as you can. And also, when possible, consider the standard path, right? The happy path. The less customizations you need to do, the better. If it works, again, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But if there are chances that if you take too long to pick all your customizations, the package gets sold out by that time. And so that's why you want to try and be very careful about and have that planned ahead. You need to have a strategy of how you're going to approach. If this package, then this kind of thing. For example, group flights versus custom flights. Some packages will have a group flight. So for example, one of the Rawaf Mina packages that I was looking at today, it had some group flights that I could fly out from New York from, or Chicago, or Los Angeles. Now I'm based in Atlanta. So now the question I have to ask myself is, would I rather just pick the package starting with the group flight? Because if you have a group flight selected, it lets you save everything. So you can save your hotel information, your preferences, you can save your flight, and it's all ready to go. The moment the package is available to book, I can quickly go and buy it. Versus if it's a custom flight, if I try to buy, let's say, a flight originating from Atlanta through Nusuk, then one thing is that it will take more time. So that is that risk. Second is also that by the time I try to book a package, that flight cost can change. And that's one of the reasons they're not allowing you to save your custom flight info, because that prices can change, right? Right now, it might be, let's say, $2,000. When you're trying to book, it might be, let's say, $2,500. So now if you don't have that extra amount in your wallet, you would need to then top up your wallet. So that, again, it adds to delay. So wherever possible, the more flexible you are, the better. That's usually the idea. And as you start, and as Faridha was showing this earlier, we are in this stage where we are reviewing packages. You're not going to book packages right now. You want to be in a situation where your e-wallet is funded and you're ready to go, and you have your preferences identified. And again, once that happens, then when the booking window opens, then you will book it. Then inshallah, when the booking is complete, you get visa, ticketing arrangements. Some of these things will happen afterwards. So right now we're going to focus on the current state, right, where we are and how we can get on to the next stage. So as you start looking into the packages, you'll see that on the top, it gives you different filters, especially for preferred packages. Now it says that preferred packages you can select up to 5, but what's actually happening is it only allows you to select one. The moment you select another preference, it resets the other one. So that's something that hopefully they can fix. But if they don't, what we would probably recommend is start making your own list, right? Of what are the package codes that work for you, right? Those package codes are the ones that you want to have, because if you have the package codes written down, then you can quickly search for them. If the number one priority package you wanted is no longer available, you can then move on to the next package, right? So make a note, and I'll show you a template I made as well. You can do your own way you want to compare based on the factors that are important to you. Second is the filter for available and preferred packages. You want to select view available packages only. Don't do just preferred, because then it will only show you your one single package. When you're actually booking or we are trying to explore, you'll be looking at all available packages to try to have all the information that is available. Next is the package category. If you are looking for only a certain category, if you're only looking for luxury, premium, standard, shifting, non-shifting, you can select those. And then once those filters are selected, it'll show you the packages that belong to that category. Now for Rawaf Mina, right now the last time we were checking, the luxury packages were not loaded yet. So if you selected, let's say, Rawaf Mina packages, you would only be able to see premium right now and standard. Next is the accommodation ratings. So 5-star, 4-star, 3-star hotels, residential buildings. Again, depending on what is super important. One is this proximity to haram filter. The zone filters doesn't seem to work correctly. A lot of the packages have null zones. They also have incorrect zones in some cases. So don't rely too much on the zone itself. What we recommend is look at the hotel and maybe look up that hotel in Google Maps or any map application that you use. Look at the directions and search for walking directions between that hotel to the haram. So that way you will know that what how far it actually is. And for the hotels that are usually further away, you have shuttles. But again, some days shuttles are blocked and they cannot go, so you might have to walk. So that's why you want to don't rely on the zone filter as of now. Hopefully they will fix that, but the zones don't seem to be working correctly. Next is the Mina cam. You have three options: Al Qaps, which is the VIP cam. It is close to Jamarat. Then you have the Muslim filter cam. That's the regular American European cams. And there's also cam 38, which is right across from Al Muslim. Then you can also filter for specific service providers. So you have, for example, let's say you're looking for off Mina packages, you can filter that. And then there is package duration filter. If you have leaves only for a certain number of days, the maximum I saw there was packages up till 33 days, and the minimum of 11 days. That at least for the packages that are loaded so far, this could change. And again, when you look at package pricing, look initial pricing will only show you land, and typically the default will be the quad packages. Not all packages have options to upgrade to a double and triple. So keep that in mind. Second is the flight information, depending on what flights you choose. And then after that, the VAT information is added that will define and tell you what the complete price is. So with that, I wanted to quickly show you a sample template. Again, just something I put together. It doesn't have to be this, right? You want to use the parameters that are important to you, right? So when you're comparing packages, you can look at that. So let me quickly show you something. So what you want, because ideally what should have happened is if they had an option where you could compare packages, similar to when you go to let's say a car website and they let you compare all the features. They unfortunately Nusuk one is not allowing you to say more than one preference at a time right now, and also it doesn't quite let you compare what is actually different between the packages. So you could make a simple template, you could, put it in a notepad, whatever works for you. Write down the things that are important to you, right? And then start noting down packages that work for you, like I said, so that if the first priority package you need is not available, you quickly can have access to the next one. So I was looking at the Rawaf Mina packages today. I said, okay, let's look at the premium packages. So I picked one that was the more expensive one that had the Al Kabsh option, which is the VIP camp, and the other with the Muasim, which is the cheapest premium that was loaded today. So, for example, there are things that you want to note down is what's the name of the package, what's the code. If you have this code handy, you can very quickly go into the website, search for it, and then even if it was not in your cart, it will let you add it. Then, for example, this package, which was Rawaf 250 versus Rawaf 223. Again, we are not. This is not trying to recommend you to take one package versus the other. What we're trying to do here is to help you compare, right? That how do you put stuff together. So for example, Rawaf 250 had 18 nights in their package, Rawaf 223 had 14 nights. Makkah, you're going to be in 15 days for Makkah and then 3 nights in Medina. In this package, you have 12 nights in Makkah, 2 nights in Medina. So you want to start noting down these things. What are the overall dates? What hotel? Like Rawaf 250 was giving you Woko, which is in Zone C. Rawaf 223 was giving you Holiday Inn, which is in Zone D. The dates are slightly different. And then the major difference was the VIP camp versus the Al Muasim camp. The hotel, Medina hotel was the same with slightly different dates. And then there are other factors that would be important, like what is the transportation? They list that in the package. What is the transportation between cities? So in both the cases here, they're doing by bus. For between Mashar sites, because it was the Al Qabs package, you have access to the train, which is the Mashar metro line, and then in the regular one, there is bus or walking. Then daily shuttles may be provided by the service provider. Again, the right may be provided because there are certain days where the shuttles will get blocked, and then you wouldn't have any option versus walking. Transportation from the camp to Al Jamarat. Again, this is if you are in the Al Kapsh camp, it's very close, so it's not really needed. But if you're on the Muslim camp, there is a walk, so that's something to be aware of. Then again, other things to compare. Does it include Qurbani? Does it include these Adhiya? Does it include SIM card? Does it include wheelchair? Does it include Ihram? And then you note down prices like what is the land price? What's the flight cost? And again, here, based on the dates, you will realize that some have going Medina first, right? So if you compare, it's June 6th to 9th is in Medina, and then June 9th to 24th is in Makkah. But if you look at the flights that are loaded right now, it all are going straight to Jeddah and then back from Jeddah again. So now, if you do go need to Medina and you have that flight picked, most likely what's going to happen is you would use either train or some local transport to go from Jeddah to Medina. Now, we are expecting that more flight options hopefully get added, like when they add options where you could fly into Medina and then fly back out from Jeddah. But at least right now, when we were looking at the Nusuk platform, it was only showing going into on the one airport and then leaving from that same airport. So that might mean local travel from Jeddah to Medina, or if you are flying into Medina, then from Medina to Jeddah. So some of the things to be aware of, and then you compare the land price, and you say, okay, this is what the land price is, this is how much my flight is. If you're going to use one of the group flights, then it will let you save the configuration. Like I said, if you use a custom flight, then the prices can change. So that's why you will have to do it again during the time of booking. And then you can compare, okay, this net for quad package with a flight from New York, for example. This is just a sample number. Your numbers can be slightly different. The flight I selected was from New York and stuff like that. So this turns out to be $13,000. This turns out to be $11,000. But I'm getting Al Kapsh there, and I'm getting more days in Saudi Arabia. So again, depending on what is important, you can then choose. Farid, are you still there? I don't know if the website has started working. If Farid is still there,
No, no, it is not.
not
Unfortunately, it is
okay.
not working.
Okay. So what we can do in that scenario, I guess, Farid, is maybe we can go through the question answers, and then later
Yeah.
on when the website is working, we can show the walkthrough as well.
All right. So let me just go through a few things quickly. It's still quite unstable. It allowed me to log in and then it quickly dropped me also. So,
For those who have questions, there is a form. We recommend using that form to ask questions. That will be easier. That way, if there are similar questions, we can group them together.
okay, so you're able to see the screen. We are aware of the following issues. So I just want to make sure that, we cover this very quickly. Number of packages, as Brother Wasim mentioned, Nusuk had been saying that we can put about 5 packages in the shopping cart. At this point in time, we cannot do that. It only allows one package in the shopping cart, and I think one in the preference, basic as a preference. So, but you know what? It's as Brother Wasim was mentioning, it's not a big deal. I mean, all that this shopping cart is doing is allowing you to put a bookmark on one of the package that you are interested in. You could do the same by taking a pen and paper and noting down uh, the package number and what are the different features that you would want to include. So when the booking starts, you can quickly go search for it in the filter and quickly from the filter go one, two, three, and you're there basically. And one of the things that Brother Wasim mentioned, please make a note of it. If you can, if it is possible, avoid customization. For example, you want to fly out of Atlanta. So if you try to get into the custom flight option, there is a high chance that you will get delayed in the process of locating the appropriate flights, etc. As opposed to if you go and pick a flight that the service provider has offered from one of the airport that is one of the gateway airport that is closest to you, you'll be able to make that selection and move faster basically. So the name of the game is, remember, first come first serve. Okay. Even though, I mean, unfortunately, since we don't have the portal to show you, that's why I'm talking through this. Even though you might find packages in the website, does not mean the visas are available. Once the quota for the visa finishes, even though you are able to see available packages, you will not be able to book that package because the visa has expired. When you get down to really, when you get down to confirming and paying for it, it's going to reject you. So it is very, very important that you be the first ones with the wallet ready, with the options already in your fingertips, so that you can quickly search for the package, go through the options very quickly, and pick the flight very quickly and go to the payment. And if that fails, do not waste your time trying to scratch your head and said, why did this fail, what happened here? Quickly go search for your next package that you have in your list and go through the process. So again, I'm trying to prepare our members to have the most success. The most success again is provided you have everything ready at your fingertips when the booking starts and quickly you are able to move forward. Okay. So one of the things that we also notice is in the custom flight, you cannot do multi-city. For example, if you say, I want to go from here to Casablanca to drop off my children in Morocco. And then from Casablanca, after a day or two, I want to fly to I want to fly to Jeddah. That in the current portal, it is not possible. So just be aware of that. So maybe what you could, if you had to do that, if there was no other choice, then probably you should consider in the custom flight booking a flight from Casablanca to Jeddah and Jeddah to Casablanca and making your own alternate arrangements to get to Casablanca. Again, I'm not certain it'll be allowed for you to do that way, but that is the only option I can consider at this point in time as I don't see multi-city. Custom flight also is at this point in time giving this error message. Do not get concerned about it. Again, I want to keep emphasizing at this point in time, all you're doing is reviewing, assessing, getting yourself ready to understand which package you would want, what are the options that you would want, which flight options you would want. That's all you're doing. You're not booking, you're not reserving, you're not telling Nusuk, this is the package I want. None of that is happening. all that given is, hey, these are the packages, these are the types of flights, these are the additional types of services available, and this is what the cost will be. The cost will not change unless you get into the custom flight. The cost of the package, the land portion, the flight portion, the standard flight portion will remain the same. So if you get this message, do not get alarmed. This is happening because most probably Nusuk has not completed their integration with the Al Musafir website. Nusuk is for the custom portion. They are using the Al Musafir portal, which is another online airline booking similar to the Booking, Expedia, etc. So probably they have not completed their integration. That's why we are getting this message. So do not be concerned about it. And also because of this one, you cannot save the selection. And again, it's not a big deal because saving the selection is only for your own sake, just to kind of a bookmark. Uh, Another thing that we did find is that in the custom flight, the date of birth is wrong. It somehow is subtracting the date of birth to go to the previous date. Again, I'm not going to be greatly concerned with this simply because I'm assuming by the time the booking comes in, they are going to fix this one. And even if they don't fix, it's not a big deal because you can always call that flight even after booking, even after paying everything. You can call the airline and inform them that the date of birth is listed wrong. It is not the end of the day. It is not going to block you from going for Hajj. It's just a matter of correcting it before you fly. So it's not a big deal. Rawaf Mina packages, there are the luxury packages for Zone A and Zone B are still not added. We've been told by Rawaf that within the next 24 to 48 hours, it should be in. So it's highly possible you might find it in the next few hours even. Okay, just to be aware of it. And we are aware that that again, as you said, I think this we already covered this one. So one thing that I want to cover this part here because we are running into many challenges with this one. Several members are contacting us that that several other agencies are contacting our members with asking them to sign up. Now, this is happening because Rawaf Mina is basically is working with multiple groups to support their packages as guides, which is their policy, which is their strategy. Okay, so if you are one thing that we want to make it very clear, we will never send out direct messages to anyone asking you to sign into us. We are not going to do it. If anything, we are going to put it in our group chat where you can sign up, etc. But we will individually, we will not contact you, we will not come and soliciting any form of support, etc. Now, this is very important that you understand that if you receive a message directly from somebody, it is not coming from us. It is definitely not coming from us. It is There are other agencies that are trying to solicit the support to be selected as guides. But again, it is their policy. It is for them to decide what is in their best interest. But we will not do it. We only release guidance documents through our group chat. We only release our URLs through our group chat, and which is basically where individuals have joined based on their own cognizance. You have made the decision. You have done it. So the one of what Rawaf Mina is going to do is we are required to provide a list to Rawaf Mina, and based on that list, Rawaf Mina will assign the individual Hujjaj to that group. So it's really important that to avoid any confusion that you do not sign up with multiple guide groups. Okay, so for example, a few people have approached us that they have signed with other guide groups because of one reason or the other, which is perfectly fine. We are not against that. But if you have signed with us, if you have signed with us in our group, please avoid signing with another group because that will only cause confusion with the list that goes to the Rawaf Mina to assign you as our guide. Of course, we do hope that we are able to guide you in person during Hajj also, as we are doing now. So people have asked the question, what are the packages that we are recommending? The packages that we are recommending at this point in time are the ones that are coming up from Zone A, which would be either for Makkah Tower Hotel or the hotels which are in the clock tower, such as the Swistal, Pullman, Zamzam, Fairmont, etc. It will list as Zone A, inshallah ta'ala. Hopefully, they will correct this issue where they are not doing the zoning correctly when they are listing the packages. Or the other one is the Zone B Jabal Umar packages with the hotels such as the Doubletree, Hilton Convention, Conrad Suites, Marriott, Hyatt, etc. Or the Zone C that you're already seeing this one, the Voco hotels, they are very good packages. What we have noticed is with Al Kapsh, which is the VIP camp, and flights from New York, Washington, we have seen the total to be about 12,500 to 13,000 for a VIP camp. It is a fairly good deal, we feel. And the Voco Hotel, again, is a walking distance, is about a mile. Of course, it's nothing like Zone A and Zone B hotels. Zone A hotels are right across from the Haram. Zone B hotels are about less than half a mile walk. Zone C hotels, the Voco Hotel, which is a Holiday Inn hotel, it's a fairly good hotel, but it's about a mile from there. So they have both Al Muasim and Al Kabsh, both camps are being offered with the Voco Hotel. Rawaf is offering this one. And then the fourth option that we are recommending are the Zone D in Azizia for the Holiday Inn. It's a very good hotel, but it's located in Azizia. Okay, so but again, make sure if you want us to be your guides, you are only picking these zones from Rawaf packages, Rawaf Mina packages. It's very important if you want us to be your guides that you do this. Now, having said that, I also want to point out, because I keep repeating first serve, first come, first serve. Get the package whether it is Rawaf Mina or another service provider, whether we are the guides or someone else are the guides, because your focus, your desire is to go for Hajj. Your desire and focus is not for us to be your guides, inshallah ta'ala. I hope so. Okay, so your focus is to go for Hajj. So what you want to do is, if you want us to be your guides, sure, go ahead and try these packages. But if you find that these packages are not working for you, these packages you're not able to get through the booking, quickly look for other packages and get a package that most suits you, but maybe they are not Rawaf Mina, which is perfectly fine. Just make dua for us when you get there, inshallah ta'ala. Okay, Wasim, you want to go through the questions, please?
Ji, ji. So yeah, one question is about the birthday being 1 day old. I think we covered that already, so we move on. Uh, Somebody asking about information for bank transfer, beneficiary name and bank address.
What's the question? I'm sorry, what's a bank transfer?
So they're asking what should be the beneficiary name and what should be the bank address.
I think we have shared it in our group chat. There is an address. Uh, we will share again. There is an address for the beneficiary. That's what you should be using. Okay. We will put that address again in there, in that one.
Another person about date of birth, so we answered that. Uh, so yeah, one question is if we cancel the package, can we only cancel it for individual family members or does the cancellation apply to the whole family?
Yeah, that's a good question. We do need to get a little more clarity, but my understanding is if you cancel the package, it's the entire account that gets canceled. It is not a individual cancellation. Okay, but we will get clarity and we'll put the response on this one in the group chat. Okay, the reason my understanding is that the whole account, because it goes by that entire account. Okay, the way Nusuk handles that, all the people are part of that package, and that's how they make the determination. So most probably, if you cancel one person, every member will get canceled at that point in time. Go ahead, Wasim. Next one.
Yes, someone saying that some packages don't have a group flight, only custom flights. So
Don't
yeah,
have. Oh,
yeah,
again, be patient. Most probably, they are loading the service provider's flight. Come back and look at it. Now, it is also possible, and we are trying to make this determination. Some of these packages might be by country. I don't believe so. They have been saying that it's universal. That's the only reason I can think of. But I think it is just they are slow in adding the service provider's flight. Just visit back and look at it. So, again, do not get frustrated. They are still working through their this thing. Wasim pointed out something. Uh, you have a long way to go before you get the title of the Haji. Okay, so just learn to be patient. Learn to be patient. Right now, Nusuk is still loading packages. Nusuk is fixing the issues that they are facing. And then once you get to the booking, you have to be in you will be in a frenzy to get a package. So, but you need to be patient. You cannot get frustrated. At the end of the day, remember, if Allah wills you to come for Hajj, it will happen. One of the Hajj I went, I got my visa just a few days before Hajj started, and before the flight date. Okay, I did not even have a package, nothing. It just happened just a few days before my departure. So if Allah wills you to go, it'll happen. So just be patient, inshallah. Ta'ala. Next question.
Yeah, on that point, quickly, I'll just quickly add a quick story that happened to me when I was a child. That I was walking somebody who was going to go for Hajj, and while going, this that person said, nowadays it's very easy. You just catch a flight, you can go. And literally, after a couple of minutes, that person fell down the stairs. I remember this very clearly because I was a young child that time. And then they couldn't go. So, yeah, like Farid Bhai said, at the end of the day, it's accepted from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we show patience, inshallah. Yes, about one package being only allowed, that we covered that. Then my admin added me as a family member. Then later, I created my own account and I'm verified. If the admin delinks my account, will I retain access?
As long as your account has been verified, as long as you have a clear indication that you are verified and you are able to top your wallet, you're able to do packages, you're not going to be impacted. Okay, because you have an account ready to go move forward. You're
Somebody
not,
asked me
you're
about.
not, they don't link two different accounts, is what I want to make sure. Okay, you have an account, you have your passport information is in there, you should be good to go. I don't believe you'll have any issue there. Go ahead, Vasim.
Somebody's asking about custom flight ability to save it. So yeah, you cannot save custom flights, at least at this point. Then somebody's asking that I have a different date range when I see the package, but the flight that I'm trying to book, it
Yes.
asks me to book a different range. So I think maybe if you can cover the departure time might be different versus landing in
Right,
Jeddah.
right. So one of the things that we noticed here that you have to see, maybe I'm going to cover a little bit broader issue here. If you look at the hotels, the hotels are booked a couple days before sometimes than what your package flight might say. Okay, if you look at the flight options, there might be some flight options that will take you. That will do the arrival on the 9th. There might be some that will have the arrival of the 8th, or some that might even say the 6th. The hotels are booked a few days before the package. Okay, so that basically is to allow some people who might end up arriving earlier, and some people that might end up arriving a little later. Okay, so when you go into your custom flights, you have to be careful. You need to be careful. It's your responsibility to make sure the dates that you are arriving in Jeddah are not earlier than what the package dates are. The package dates meaning the package at the beginning, the date the range it has given. You need to make sure you arrive after that date, because otherwise you have to make your own hotel arrangements. Okay. Now the second part, I guess there is this question later on, I had noticed it, is about transportation from custom flight. My expectation is if you arrive at a different time than what the package is, you still might be able to make the arrangement with service provider by contacting your guide, contacting the service provider, and providing and sharing with them your flight information. It is possible they might be able to meet you and pick you up, but it is not guaranteed. Okay, so this is the challenge. This is one thing that you have to bear in mind with your custom flight. You are responsible for the transportation from the airport to the hotel, and also making sure your dates match up with the package dates. It's your responsibility. Okay. Besides the fact the custom flight might possibly delay in you completing the booking, as Wasim pointed out earlier, that's a big concern that we all have with the custom flight. Okay. And the other big concern that Wasim pointed out, because it's a market price, the market price when you're ready to book might differ, and you may not have enough funds in your e-wallet, causing again either delay or missing out on booking that package. So please be aware of this when you're considering about the custom flights. Go ahead, Wasim.
Next is people asking about immunization information and then saying, will that be only applicable when we get visa? So like,
Um,
do they have to worry about immunization now versus when they apply for visa?
Well, you only have to worry about it when once you get the package, okay? The besides the COVID-19, by the way, COVID-19 has been made as a recommend as a requirement, okay? COVID-19 vaccination dose 1, dose 2 are a requirement for getting the visa. At some point in time, they will ask you for that one. Meningitis is the other vaccination that would be required. Meningitis vaccination is generally not required before they issue the visa, but you do need to take it at least 10 days before your departure. I'm not exactly sure how Nusuk will handle that at this point in time, uh, but they probably will require that you load this or at least have it available when you arrive in Jeddah. Okay, so we are not aware exactly how they are going to require to approve, but you do require meningitis and you do require COVID-19 vaccination. Dose 1 and dose 2. Both the doses are required. Go ahead, Vasim.
Some people are asking about zone being null. So like I said, the zone information is not
Just be
correct right
patient.
now. Yeah, wait on that.
Just be patient. Just be patient. The data is not loaded completely. From our perspective, we are in the IT field. This was not the best way of releasing this solution. They should have internally tested, loaded everything, and only then released it. But Alhamdulillah, we have. I want us to look at this as an opportunity. We have to look at how the packages are and how much they cost, etc. It just gives us some extra time. Next question.
Will Rawaf Mina be offering luxury packages and shifting options?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I don't know about the shifting part because what they had told us earlier was that Rawaf Mina packages are non-shifting packages. But let's just wait for the packages to be released. They have informed us that it might take another 24 to 48 hours. This is not just of Rawaf Mina. It almost looks like most of the other luxury packages have not been released yet. They are slowly trickling in.
Are US passport holders restricted to specific US packages or they can pick any package in Nusuk?
I think as what Nusuk has done this year is they have made the packages universal to everybody in the Nusuk supported countries. So you are not limited to by country of residence. Your flights are limited by the country of residence. Basically, the flights that the service provider includes with each package, that one is going to be based on your country of residence. But the packages, to the best of our knowledge, are available across the entire Nusuk supported countries. And that is one of the things that we are confident about being able to support people who are in any country. So irrespective of whether you are in Germany, England, Italy, or wherever, as long as you pick one of those packages from Rawaf Mina that we have mentioned, we should be able to support. In fact, we even confirmed with Rawaf Mina today, as long as you are in any of the VOCO packages, and you have signed us up as your guide, inshallah ta'ala, we can be your guides. And same thing with the Jabal Umar packages. any of the Jabal Umar, because they're all in the close vicinity, we should be able to support you, even if you are in Marriott, Doubletree, Hilton, or Conrad, etc. We should be able to support you. Okay, Wasim?
Somebody's asking about booking it for two people. They're asking, do I have to select the same package two times, or I have to change the occupancy of room? I think
No, I think if you have multiple people in your account, this is where unfortunately we cannot show it to you. It's a sad part. But when you go into the occupancy, you basically have to select two occupancy. Actually, it will not allow you to move forward unless you pick the right occupancy. Okay, for all the locations, for both Medina, Mecca. You will have to pick the right occupancy depending on how many members are in your account. It's the same package has to be picked, and the final total it'll give you, including every member. The package price that is listed is individual. Please bear in mind, the package price is not based just because you have multiple people in your account. It's not calculating at the package level, but when you're ready to submit, it will give you the total at that point in time.
this is a repeated question, but yeah, can I book it from a different country? You can. You will have to select the custom flight option.
Yeah.
Uh, Going on to the next one, people asking about if Adai is not included, will we are willing to pay extra? How can we arrange for it?
Uh, Inshallah ta'ala, we had made arrangements last year for Adahi to be arranged, inshallah ta'ala, for a small fee. Generally lesser than, I mean, I did notice that it is generally lesser than what the package, in some packages it's including, but we will make the arrangement. And inshallah ta'ala, we'll make the arrangement whether you are in our Hajj group or not. Inshallah, we'll do it. Of course, first preference we have to give it to the people who are in our Hajj group, because there will be limited number of animals that we can arrange for. But inshallah ta'ala, we'll make the arrangement. Reach out to us whether you are in our group or not.
Yeah, some people asking some fake questions, so we'll skip over those. Inshallah, we'll do that later after the packages are booked.
Yes, yes, please.
Uh, and then same questions about fire packages, vaccines, uh, custom flight. Can I book train from Makkah to Medina on my own, or it has to be through a service provider if bus is the offered option?
Okay, if if the service provider is not offering the train, is using the bus, and if you want to make the train, yes, it is possible, but you need to work with your guide and service provider. Please do not go off on your own. Make sure that you arrange this with your guide and service provider to make sure they are not searching for you. Okay, but it is possible.
Yeah. Somebody asking about Mashar packages. They are not released, at least not so far. Do you have a recommended package right now for us?
I think we shared that recommended package list of the recommended package. Any Rawaf Mina package. If you want us to be your guide, okay, let me be very careful. If you want us to be your guide, pick any Rawaf Mina package that has the hotel either in Woko or one of the Jabal Umar or Clock Tower or the Holiday Inn in Azizia. These are the four categories of uh, packages that we recommend for us to be as guides. But beyond that, if you're looking, if you are not looking for us being the guide, look for things that makes your most meets your requirements. You have to carefully evaluate it. You have to make a because somebody asked me earlier this question. The package, when you're picking a package, it's a combination of cost and convenience. That's what you need to look at. Okay, when I say cost and convenience, you need to look at the convenience. I have to be across from the haram because of challenges, physical challenges. I need to be in al kabsh, because of physical challenges. Then you need to look at what the cost would be for that one and make your decision. If you're willing to take some level of hardship, like for example walking from Woko, for example, a mile walk is not difficult, consider Woko. If you're okay staying in Azizia, then the calculations that I have quickly done, is there are hotels in Azizia with flight. You can get it up to about 9,000 to $9,500. Okay, so under $10,000, you can get a Hajj package in Azizia. There are those packages available, I have seen. And then if you want Al Kapsh from Holiday Inn, you can get it for about 12,500. Okay, so approximately this, again, I'm giving the calculation from United States, from some of the gateways that I have seen. Okay, so you can get Al Kapsh Holiday Inn from Rawaf for about $12,500 approximately. Again, all depends on the exchange rate, etc. How you're doing the exchange rate. If you're doing through your bank where the exchange rate is not good, the exchange rate with credit card is generally good. So based on that, about 12,000 to 13,000, you can get Al Kapsh with Holiday Inn. That is possible. Next question.
Yeah, there are some other questions about standard versus group flight versus custom packages. I think those will get clarified once we do a
Inshallah.
walkthrough. Yeah,
Yeah,
inshallah. Those, yeah, yeah. Give a little bit, inshallah. Once the website is working, we can show that as well, inshallah.
we can do that. And another thing that I want to point out, please relax at this point in time. Understand the packages, okay? Some of these details about the Hajj itself, what happens after you get the package, the visa. We will cover, I mean, we will cover that, and I'm sure all the guides will do it, okay? So once that happens, the guide should be getting you all together, going over specific details, the logistics, the fiqh matters, and how we meet, where we meet, how is things, what the suitcases, etc. That a guide, a good guide, and inshallah everybody is a good guide. We'll cover that and we'll go through that one, inshallah.
Yeah, those are the questions in the form. Quickly looking at the chat. Somebody asking, is there going to be a pre-notice about the exact date and time of release of packages for booking?
And unfortunately, we don't. At this point in time, we don't know if there is going to be a specific time. But what we do know is it's 10 to 14 days. So start counting from 10 days from yesterday, just to be on the safer side, and start looking for the booking to be released, basically. Uh, as soon as we find out, okay, our the Rawaf Mina has told us that as soon as they find out, they will inform us. So as soon as we find out, you'll be the next people to know it. We are hoping at least a few hours before the booking starts, we should be able to inform you. We just cannot guarantee this because we are not certain how Nusuk will handle this one.
There's a question about health insurance coverage for US
Right.
customers.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these questions, Wasim. Let me quickly go through this one. Where do we find the gateways? The gateways are basically what you find when you go into the package and when you see the standard flights being offered. Those are the gateways, what we are referring to. Okay. Uh, Unfortunately, a couple things that we found a little bit as an issue of the portal is the portal beforehand is not telling you what type of occupancies are available. To find the occupancy, you have to go to the second page where the occupancy is provided, and anything that is not disabled is the one that occupancies are available. Unfortunately, you have to go through that one. The second part that we did not find it that is very obvious in the first page is the gateways. Okay, gateways as to is it LAX and Chicago, or JFK and Washington, or is it Toronto? So it is not clearly listed. You will only find this information once you get into the flight portion of the package. Okay. When is booking expected to start? We answered that. Lots of people are here, mashallah. Okay, alhamdulillah, jazakallah khair. Make dua for us. Ameen, ameen. So when the refund is issued, does it go to the one card or multiple credit cards? Okay, very good question. Unfortunately, we don't know the refund policy, but I'll tell you based on the past experience what they are going to do. They are going to send the funds back to the same source as where the funds came from. Okay. If the funds came from the bank, they would send it right back to the same bank. That the portion that came from the bank will go back to that, and the portion of the credit card that came from will should be going back to that. Now again, this is based on past experience. I'm not saying this is how they will do it this year. But that is the expectation that they would do. They would send it right back to the same credit card minus the 1.5%. Will there be any pre-notice regarding the exact date? No, we don't have that one. But as soon as we find out, as you said, we'll let you know. Try to book a flight for a package starting on the 9th of June, on the 8th of June. Okay. You have to look at whatever options are available and please work with those options. Okay, whatever options the service provider is offering. And again, you can definitely go into the custom, but unless you have to get into the custom flight, such as you have to drop off the children at a different city, etc., avoid getting into the custom flight for the same reasons that we mentioned earlier. When can we see group flights where the packages allow departure from? Again, they are loading this information. Several packages have the group flights, which is basically uh, the service provider packages, flights. I think they are already loading it. Inshallah ta'ala, you should be able to see it. We don't know exactly the what is, but what is the what charges, what is the percentage, we don't know. I think it's like 18% or so, but I don't want to claim I know that. But the taxes will be included in the final price that is listed. The final price that's listed will include the VAT also. Um, okay, can we do the Zoom? Zoom has some limitations for us. That's why we are working with Guru. Can we ask questions? We would love to open up the chat, but we have experienced this from other webinars as well as our webinars. It'll become very long. It'll become one person arguing over the other. If you have a question, please go ahead and feel free to put it in our chat and we will answer. It doesn't matter how late it gets. Inshallah ta'ala, we are here. We will answer the questions. While I was configuring one of the packages, my husband, right after I selected flight, I got a message. Uh, Platform again. This is basically today. They are loading things. So if you're having these issues with the website, it's because they are doing some things in it. We are not able to get in, unfortunately, even for demo purposes. Are the package prices accurate, or they will change? Which says excluding. Okay. As long as you use the standard flight and as long as you are using the package that is offered there, we do not expect for them to be changing the flight, the package prices. Again, I want to repeat this. The package price that they show before is minus the flight. And when you get into the flight portion of the package portal, as long as you use the flight that the service provider is providing as part of the group package, the prices would be listed immediately afterwards. You should not change. But if you go into the custom flight, then the custom flight is market based. So whatever is the cost of the flight at the time you're making the booking, the price will change. So be aware of that one. Again, that's the reason we are continuously discouraging from custom flights. Thanks for clarifying, dear Robert. Jazakallah khair. Can you comment on Sheraton Jabal Kaaba Hotel? Sheraton Jabal Kaaba is on the other side of Marwa. It's a fairly good hotel. I mean, there's not much we can mention that. It is a 4-star, 5-star hotel, but it is on the other side of Marwa. Okay. Does does Holiday Inn Hotel have shuttle to Haram? Yes, Holiday Inn Hotel does have shuttle to Haram. Last year, people were quite satisfied with it. But do bear in mind, as you get close to the Hajj, the frequency would definitely decrease. So be aware of that. Any package from Texas? Uh, I'm assuming when you say package from Texas, you mean the flights from Texas. So far, we have not seen it, but then again, they are still in the process of loading the flight. So just continue to look for it. As soon as we find out anything about gateways other than JFK, LAX, and Washington, we will put it in our group chat. How to join the group chat, Brother Wasim? Can you put the link in there in the group chat for our this thing? We will put it in there, inshallah ta'ala. Husband and wife, one idea? No, each haji is one adiyah by themselves. Okay, so each Haji is responsible and required to give one qurbani, which is called the adiyah during the Hajj time. What is the most latest date you can pick the packages? Is it done with hours? How many visas are being issued for United States? Okay. What is the latest date you can pick the package? Well, picking right now you are in the review stage. Okay. You can pick, you can select, you can document, you can list out, you can do whatever you want. You can make a note of that. When the booking starts, you need to immediately get those booking. How many visas? Our understanding is United States has been allocated 3,500 visas. 3,500 visas. I want to warn, and again, I don't want to cause any anxiety in people, but 3,500 visas for United States is very low, and that's the reason that we keep warning people, we keep preparing people to be ready with the e-wallet, with the funds, etc., in the e-wallet, to be ready to click go with 1, 2, 3, and try to buy the package. Okay, uh, the entire Nusuk countries altogether, we understand is about 35,000. Uh, if other countries do not consume the visas that are assigned to them, we understand Nusuk and Ministry of Hajj will offer it to the other countries such as the United States, but that we don't know how much will come through. Last year, I believe like 500 or 600 were offered, but do not depend on that. Be the first ones to get in the first batch itself. Do you have any packages from Chicago? Again, I'm assuming you're referring to the flight. We don't know if the flights are going to be offered from Chicago or not. Continue monitoring the Nusuk package portal to see that one. In the chat, we have signed up for your Rawat Mina group and gave our passport numbers also. Have you released the package name number yet for us to configure, or can we repeat the package names? Again, as we mentioned, we want to keep it very simple. As long as you pick a Rawaf Mina package with hotels in Woko, hotels in Jabal Umar area, which is Doubletree, Hilton, Convention, Conrad, Marriott, um, or Clock Tower hotels, which is any of the Clock Towers, Swistel, Fairmont, Pullman, etc., or Makkah Hotel, or the Holiday Inn in Azizia, we should be able to include you in our Hajj group, inshallah ta'ala. COVID vaccine made required this year. Yes, just recently they released that the requirement that COVID vaccine is required. I'm in Atlanta, then my custom flight will be from Atlanta to Jeddah, Jeddah to Atlanta. Yes, you could do that in your custom flight, but again, unless it's required, please avoid doing this. Get the flight that is being offered as part of the group. That will be much quicker in making sure that you do get the package. Make your own separate arrangement from Atlanta to the gateway. That is our recommendation. What about health insurance coverage for US customers? Our understanding is health insurance is part of the Hajj package. This information will be provided as you move on later on, inshallah ta'ala. Okay. Do all your packages have flights included? All packages will have flight included. Okay. There is just no two ways about it. All packages will have flights, whether you take the flight that is offered by the group or you do the custom, that's your choice. Again, we do not recommend custom flight arrangement for several reasons that we explained before. When do you anticipate the booking will start? We do not know that, but it's expected to be 10 to 14 days after the packages are released, and the packages were released day before yesterday on Sunday. So you can take it forward from now onwards as to how things will go on. If I book Zone D, how long is the walk from Azizia to the Haram? It's about 4 to 5 miles, depending on which hotel you are in. There is, if you are in Legend, which is much further away as opposed to Nuria or Holiday Inn, which are like about 3 to 4 to 5 kilometers. Legend is about 9 to 10 kilometers. So we would not recommend walking because it's extremely hot weather. It is a sun bearing weather. So we would not recommend walking from Azizia to this thing. But again, it's your call, but we would like to avoid that one. Can you help with travel insurance? No, we are not getting involved with travel insurance. Nusuk is not offering travel insurance. So there is no such thing as a travel insurance from Nusuk side. When will we be able to see the flight cost? You are already able to see the flight cost in most cases. In some cases, they are going to update soon, inshallah ta'ala. Will Nusuk send an email before booking goes live? We don't believe so. I don't believe that will happen. So do not depend on that. Someone posted online that all packages on Nusuk will eventually have recommended flight options. Yes, 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 yes. They will have the group flights will be included. It's just a matter of time. They are in the process of loading it. Do they have group flights from each country for every package? We believe yes. I need a flight from Amsterdam. Well, when the packages are all the packages are released, you should go into the flight portal part of it and see if Amsterdam is offered as a group flight, or you'll have to do the custom flight. For again, I want to keep repeating, we do not recommend custom flight. When we see the total price at the last date, is that the total final price for two people? No, that is the final price. We expect that to include everything, your package, the land portion of it, the flight portion of it, the taxes, everything included for everybody that is in your account would be the final amount that is listed, and that is compared against your e-wallet amount. I want to go with Rawaf Group, but if I get some other service provider, how can I get in touch with the guide of the? Okay, how do I get in touch with the guide of that service provider? Our assumption, inshallah ta'ala, is each service provider, once the packages are purchased, will inform you who your guide is, and they will hopefully, inshallah ta'ala, also provide you the contact information. But our hope also is the guide itself will contact you. That is at least our plan. As soon as the bookings are completed, as soon as we know that you are included in our Hajj group, we will contact you. We will develop the WhatsApp groups. We will start setting up meetings so that we are all on the same page and we all can coordinate with each other, inshallah ta'ala. Okay. I'll be traveling with my brother. When I select shifting in Azizia, it only gives me the option to book triple or quad. Yes, that is true. Every package does not have every occupancy available. Package limits either to quad, triple, or double. So when you look into the package, that is just how the it is listed. Okay. So, Alhamdulillah, we come to the end of our webinar. Unfortunately, we could not show you the package portal as we had planned on, but continue looking at that the package portal, review it carefully. As we find more information, we will, inshallah ta'ala, release a document on the flight on the package portal, detailing as much as possible. But our request is, please be patient. Texting us, asking us with issues that you're having with the package portal will not help, because they are in the process of updating the packages. They are updating the functionality, so it is going to take a little bit of time. And inshallah ta'ala, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help you all. uh, what are the pros and cons of shifting versus non-shifting packages? I think we have answered this previously. uh, with the shifting package, okay, one of the challenge with the shifting package is that you will have to move your luggage from one place to the other. But with the shifting package, again, the cost is generally a little bit lower. With the non-shifting package, the advantage is you're not moving, but you're paying a little bit more. With the shifting package, especially going to Azizia, sometimes people consider that a benefit to be closer to the Jamara Bridge. Again, this is personal preference depending on the cost, etc. Keep WhatsApp chat at least every night so we can get more info. Um, Unfortunately, we are based out of Atlanta, and we have set a limit of 11 p.m. as our final time that we answer any questions in our group, in our chat. So beyond that, but we are trying to answer as early as possible the next day. Okay. We need to end the session. Jazakallah khair. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of us and grant all of us a Hajj Baitullah this year, if not this year, next year. But any which case, please be patient, be of the firm understanding that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wishes us to go for Hajj Baitullah, we will go for Hajj Baitullah. We humbly request everybody to pray for us. If any benefit has come from our presentation today, it is simply because of the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anything and everything that Allah is guiding us to do is a blessing from Him. Any error, any deficiencies, any mistakes we have made, it's ours and ours alone. Please forgive us and make dua that we do better next time, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Brother Wasim, thank you. Jazakallah khair also. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.